Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with the Empire, sadly not the Vampire Coast, which, by the way, I'm super stoked if you couldn't tell by my video I made about it. I'm trying to recreate that as best we can here. You know, we've got powder units, we've got some decrepit ships in the background. Unfortunately, my dudes with guns here are quite living. We've got quite a few free company militia. In fact, Frontline is all free company militia. Got the steam tank, of course, Royal Altaf Graphites with the warrior priest. Can't go anywhere without my faith demis. We've also got Balthazar Gelt up in the air. No final cheese mutation, as we are trying to go cheese-free, lactose intolerant style. We've also got a witch hunter just for a bit of cheese. Maybe not fully lactose intolerant here. A couple units of Empire Knights in the woods, and 4 groups of Pistoliers. So definitely a nice gunpowder inspired build. Definitely inspired by the reveal of the Vampire Coast today. And what better map? One of the few maps that's got, like, you know, decrepit ship, some water, kind of a naval theme despite the dark elf architecture. And anyway, facing off against the Greenskins, let's go ahead and take a look at their build. Got 2 Doom Diver catapults, front line of Savage Orc Biggins with the unbreakable 8-peak loonies, as well as a couple Orc boys. We've got the Rusty Heirs, Wurzag leading the way here. He's got Foot of Gork, Here We Go, and Fist of Gork. All great spells, of course, with the rest of his abilities and items. Single Black Orc in the back with the Broken Tusk mob as well. We've also got some nasty Skulkers hidden over in the corner. So without further ado, let's get the battle underway. Pistoliers already taking shots from those Doom Divers. You can see this unit has taken a few casualties there. Somewhere in the field there's some gobos embedded in the ground by a bunch of dead Pistoliers. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start to push up and around, and I definitely want to play this one as patiently as possible. You know, the steam tank is honestly pretty good counter-artillery battery, I should say. It's not that great against, like, armor-piercing type artillery like cannons and stuff, but it is accurate enough that it can pick off unit models of artillery pieces. So against these Doom Divers it'll do okay. I'm gonna at first just try and shoot at Wurzag, but unfortunately it's not quite accurate enough to hit a small single unit model like that. You can see though the Pistoliers are maneuvering up and around, trying to pick my opponent apart a little bit. My opponent does burn an effigy to get to chase down one of these groups of Pistoliers, which in my opinion is a bit of a waste of an effigy to get. I mean, granted, these Savage Orc Biggins are going to get in here and just carve these Pistoliers to bits. You can see them quickly falling over here as these savages do their thing. We are going to go ahead and drop a Searing Doom just to try and salvage some of this situation. But yeah, those Pistoliers are pretty much done for, but still, that is a quite cheap unit to use that effigy to get on. Granted, most of my army is hidden at the moment, so my opponent really only knows my kind of skirmish operation force here. We've also got these Pistoliers just kind of hiding in the woods, trying to block some of those shots from those Doom Divers, but still taking some fire. And you can see the Rusty Heirs are also going to be returning some fire as well. Orc boys do have shields, so they'll be able to block some of those Pistolier shots, but still will take some pretty good damage there. And unfortunately, the Vampire Coast, I mean, we'll see what kind of units they have on their roster, but just based on what I saw, it doesn't look like they have any true skirmish cav. They might potentially have some air skirmish cav in the deck droppers, but unfortunately probably won't be seeing any dual wielding, you know, horse riding zombies with pistols, as cool as that would be. I don't think we saw any of that in the trailer. But yeah, you can see Balthazar has taken a little bit of damage, has taken a couple Doom Diver shots to the face, but a very effective side shot there from the steam tank. And you can see it is getting some pretty effective fire here on these Doom Divers, and so far so good. We're definitely picking away at this Greenskin force in this kind of skirmish phase here. All things considered, you know, 2 groups of Pistoliers for a single Savage Orc Biggin isn't necessarily great value, although these guys are chevroned up a bit, so they're probably 900 points. These guys are about 500 each, so I guess it's not that far off in terms of value. But we're also able to do quite a bit of damage to the Doom Divers, and we'll soak up some more cinematics of these Pistoliers in the woods, because I know you guys are big fans of this particular unit. I also am a big fan, both visually and, you know, they used to be a meme unit, now they're actually pretty decent. They're doing a great job skirmishing out a lot of these Orc units here. And Orc boys on the side, we're going to try and push these guys up and around and get in on the Doom Divers, just to disrupt my opponent. I'm going to go ahead and choose to advance at that time, I believe at least. Try and get my free company up and forward while the Doom Divers are shut down if possible. But yeah, so far super even. You can see the Doom Divers are taking shots at the steam tank, which, I mean, the shots that connect aren't going to do a whole lot of damage because the Doom Diver doesn't have the greatest AP values, and of course the steam tank, one of the heaviest armor units in the game, with 160 armor, going to take very little damage from those Doom Divers, and you can see it actually trading very favorably just straight up with the Doom Divers here. Not to mention the Pistoliers kind of whittling away at the flanks here. We are going to bring up some Empire Knights as well. My opponent was maneuvering those Skulkers across the field, but I had spotted them with my Empire Knights and quickly ran them down. Now the Empire Knight's going to be helping these Pistoliers as they take some fire from the Doom Divers. Swing and a miss there for that Gobbo, but that Gobbo making some solid contact into the Pistoliers. And yeah, unfortunately I do get another FG to get. I say unfortunately. Again, an 850 point unit, a little more worth it, but the FG to get as well as the Overcast Foot of Gork doing a ton of damage there, and that is pretty much going to finish off that unit of Empire Knights, just about. That being said, we've got around the back line, shot the gap, so to speak, and shut down this Doom Diver. Going to be quickly switching over and making sure the other one stays shut down as well. So yeah, both Doom Divers shut down at the moment. We go ahead and drop Overcast, Plague of Rust to bring those Broken Tusk Mob down to 30 armor. My intention is to drop a Searing Doom in this pocket. You can see here comes the Overcast Searing Doom. Unfortunately, as Balthazar is doing this, he's taking fire from the Rusty Airs, but still, I have found Searing Doom to be pretty decent against Cav, especially if their armor is sundered, so we did some solid damage to those Black Orcs. Not the Black Orcs, the Broken Tusk Mob, and some of the lighter units in that pocket, just kind of trying to spread the damage around a little bit, but you can see the Free Company still not advancing it. I thought I was going to advance them at this point, but it looks like one Doom Diver still online at the moment. Tattered Empire Knights coming in, not quite finished off. Trying to get at these retreating Black Orcs, or sorry, just regular Orc boys. They wish they were Black Orcs. I also wish we had Black Orcs with shields, but that's another matter entirely. Empire Knights going to be pushing up. You can see more of my mobile forces, the Faith Demis, pushing forward. And finally, the Free Company Militia are going to be trudging their way across the swamps here, led by the Witch Hunter. And yeah, Steam Tank still just holding back, trying to use up the rest of its ammo here, firing at the remaining Doom Diver, and my Empire Knights, which had charged through. More Empire Knights getting a nice charge on this flank, and we are going to come in and finally shut this Doom Diver down, make sure my Free Company are nice and safe to advance. It actually looks like it was shooting at those Empire Knights, which is not too bad. Over on this side, though, the Royal Altargrifites, Faith Demis, having no problem tearing apart the tattered Broken Tusk Mob here. And especially with the Faith buffs, of course, they're going to easily win this engagement. My opponent actually trying to pull back, not even routing here, wisely trying to pull back the Broken Tusk Mob to like the support of these Black Orcs, for example. Very well played there. Balthazar's taken a pretty good amount of damage, so it's not super comfortable at this point. We are slightly ahead on the balance of power, but yeah. You can see that unit of Empire Knights, they'd shut down the Doom Diver, was chased off, and both the Doom Diver crews are coming back on station, so it's going to be tough. We all do have some regrouped Pistoliers coming back, though, so now kind of the final engagement getting underway. You can see Pistoliers going to come up, do a bit of skirmishing, firing into the side. Don't have a whole lot of unit models left, so it's not going to be too devastating, but the Savage Orcs and others moving up in the front line here, and you can see I'm going to kind of start to skirmish back a little bit with my Free Company, form up a line, fire, then form up a line again. Of course, since we have the steam tank with the artillery advantage now, it's going to be very beneficial. Unfortunately, Balthazar, my opponent's been very on point with his Rusty Airs, just catching Balthazar whenever he's in range. Still going to drop a Searing Doom and shut down this Doom Diver. Oh man, look at that Gobbo just get like bounced up in the air. And yeah, the Empire Knights going to shut down the other Doom Diver once again. Wah being popped off at this point, trying to give these guys some extra speed to close the gap. You can see a little bit of a discombobulated formation there. Going to allow my guys to shoot in the side of these units as they're charging in, but once they're in, they definitely will do some solid damage, so I'm going to go ahead and just kite and fight, as they say. Go ahead and keep retreating, but a very pitched engagement here as the Royal Altargrifites come in. We've got Black Orcs supporting the Broken Tusk Mob. We're trying to go after Wurzag and finish him off here, but unfortunately just the support too much. He drops an Here We Go. Not quite enough, and you can see the Royal Altargrifites actually getting routed off. Thankfully, Wurzag does get terrified at the last minute, but unfortunately the Royal Altargrifites getting terrified away there is pretty rough. That being said, we're still far enough on the balance power. We can probably finish him off. You can see the Rusty Arrows getting cleaned up by this ace unit of Empire Knights here. This one that didn't get Foot of Gork has been very key in cleaning up some tattered units. You can see the main line, so to speak, of Free Company continuing to skirmish away while the Witch Hunter goes ahead and puts his armor-piercing bullets into the Black Orcs there. It didn't look like he actually hit anyone that time, but anyway, we're going to try and close everything off. You can see the Royal Griffites have regrouped, so we're going to get them back with the Warrior Priest. Balthazar is keeping an eye on Wurzag, you know, making sure he stays where we can see him. And yeah, you can see these Black Orcs here. We're going to go ahead and drop another combination of Overcast, Plague of Rust to bring their armor down just in time for the Empire Knights to charge in. Of course, this charge will be much more effective with the lower armor. You can see those Black Orcs taking a substantial amount of damage there. Wurzag's going to come try and support, but from the side door with the steel chair, here come the Faith Demis with the buffs full on, going to come in and finish off Wurzag. And with his lack of leadership, or rather with him going down and the Greenskins' general lack of leadership, my opponent is going to go ahead and admit defeat. He does still have some forces fighting back here who are continuously just getting kind of fought and retreat, you know, kite and fight, all that by the Free Company. And the steam tank had used up most of its ammo, was moving in to start terrifying away the tattered remnants. And of course, the terror was going to be very strong against all the units in this pocket, so definitely understand my opponent admitting defeat at that point, but still. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that one. Definitely gunpowder sort of a Vampire Coast inspired build, not strictly Vampire Coast, as again, I don't think they're going to have any skirmish cav. We'll see. I don't think they'll have any traditional heavy cavalry either. I know those crab things could potentially be about as fast as cavalry, but I digress. Anyway, fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. In terms of the breakdown here, the Free Company kind of got cut through a little bit, but able to kite and fight pretty effectively. 45 kills on the Witch Hunter, not too bad. The Empire Knights cleaning up quite a few kills, 85 and 125. Pretty solid overall. 31 on the Royal Griffites, of course, very good. The Pistoliers didn't get a whole lot, but they were able to kind of occupy my opponent's skirmish phase for long enough that the steam tank was able to get some good work done. 71 kills, XP Chevron. Slowly warming up to the steam tank. I definitely don't think it's a competitive pick, but certainly a fun pick, and definitely fun to play around with in matchups that are already reasonably favorable for the Empire. This is one that could potentially be tough, but with the Lord sniping tools the Empire has access to, it's generally not that hard for them from what I found. So we decided to go a little bit lighter on the Lord sniping this time and go with more of a powder-inspired build. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.